Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants.
I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway from Portland to Gorham, but then you made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway from Portland to Gorham, but then you made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway from Portland to Gorham, but then you made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway from Portland to Gorham, but then you made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway from Portland to Gorham, but then you made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway from Portland to Gorham, but then you made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway from Portland to Gorham, but then you made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway from Portland to Gorham, but then you made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway. Made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway. Made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway. Made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon.
Here to help out the university.
Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway. Made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Here to help out the university. Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride with that bum anyway. Made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And then the rain stopped, and there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon. Here to help out the university. Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride bum anyway. Made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them by name. Matthew Bampton, thank you. Stephen Welch, thank you. Solomon. Here to help out the university. Recognize and welcome our student residence assistants. I wasn't going to ride bum anyway. Made sure you were definitive that you were not going to do that. And there were 5 loyal people, and I just want to thank them.
Yasinchuk in teacher education, Clara Howard in language literacy and culture, Cheryl Demick in special education, Andrew Amarelli in computer science, Alexander Generali in exercise health and sport sciences, Yelena Schvetz in mathematics, Christina Harris in nursing, William Pooler in technology, Michael Cody in economics, Sharon Timberlake in leadership and organizational studies, Leslie Yetter in nursing, and Sarah Jessin in educational research and policy. And now we can welcome them all. You may recognize some of these names. Some of these people have played different roles at USM. They are new to their roles. They are new to this particular role at USM. But I personally would like to thank everyone whose name I just read and all of our new employees for dedicating your time and your energy to USM. As I've said to everyone I've ever interviewed, there are probably easier places in the world to work, but there is really no better place in the world to work. So thank you all for being here. And now I'd like to make a special introduction of 3 employees who are either new to USM or who are new to their roles at USM. And these are our 3 postdoctoral or faculty fellows. And I'm going to ask them to stand briefly as I introduce them, even though I'm not sure they love that idea. The first of our faculty of our postgraduate fellows this year is Emmanuel Kayembe. Emmanuel Kayembe is our fellow in the Franco-American collection. His research interests are in Francophonie in general, but especially global Francophone literature. He has a PhD in French language and literature from the University of Cape Town, and he has also taught, in addition to USM, at the University of Botswana. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kayembe. Thank you. I'd also like to reintroduce to many of you Dr. Lance Gibbs, who will be our Talbot Fellow in the African American and Talbot collections in the coming years. Dr. Gibbs has research interests in family studies, race, ethnicity, gender, and identity construction, and his PhD is in American Cultural Studies from Bowling Green. In addition to USM, he's also taught at the University of Dayton and at the University of the West Indies. So please join me in welcoming back Dr. Gibbs. And I'll just mention briefly that we have another postdoctoral fellow joining us this year who will be the Intercultural and Diversity Fellow in the Department of Geography and Anthropology. Her name is Dr. Adrienne Benally, and she has a PhD in Cultural Studies from the Claremont Graduate University. And I'll just read you her dissertation title so you can eagerly await her arrival at USM. Her dissertation title is On Contentious Ground: The Navajo Nation's Controversial 2013 Decision to Purchase and Operate a Coal Mine on the Navajo Reservation. So Dr. Benally is driving cross-country as we speak to be here for Tuesday, so we can all look forward to her arrival. Welcome. These new positions represent an increased investment in our special collections, in our research and scholarship, in developing new scholars, in areas of research and interest that are of particular importance to the university right now. And they also represent an investment in people who bring new perspectives to USM. So I'm delighted to be able to share this new initiative with you to bring postdoctoral and post-research fellows to the institution. So welcome. Now I want to give you a brief reminder and update about USM's new academic vision. We are now in year 2 of USM's academic vision, and you'll see a slide, and you'll see tabletop materials, just as a reminder that this vision is very much active, and we are very much in its development. Last May, I delivered a baseline report on these pillars, and grant proposals for the pillars are rolling in. So you all should have received my call for pillar proposals last year. The deadline is September 23rd, so if you have an idea for how to move the university closer to delivering these pillars, please let me know before September 23rd. Now, as you know, these 4 pillars of the academic vision represent the promise that we make to students about what they can expect from their academic experience at USM. But they don't embody our full plan for academic excellence, and they don't get us to the full realization of Goal 1. In light of USM's first goal of academic excellence, it's clear to all of us that we have to increase our investment in research, scholarship, and creative activity. Faculty who teach full-time and who are working hard to be student-focused every day are also called upon to engage in research, scholarship, and creative activity. And only when our faculty are research active can the university create new knowledge, drive prosperity, address pressing social and cultural needs, and perhaps most important, allow students the opportunity themselves to engage in research, scholarship, and creative activity. This is what our students expect from us, and this is what they deserve. So, the following new supports will be in place effective immediately for faculty research and scholarship. Faculty members who receive new external grants will have 25% of the indirect costs recovered returned to the department, school, or college, up to a total of $25,000. Tenure track or tenured faculty members may now allow external granting agencies to buy out any portion of their research block up to 100%, and the college, department, or school will receive 50% of that buyout. Tenure track or tenured faculty may use the existing course release process to apply for for release time to complete a major project. Full-time faculty members may apply for summer salary in order to write a new grant. And I would ask, and I think we would all expect, that faculty, departments, schools, colleges will especially focus these recovered funds on supporting students in their research programs. These initiatives are designed to increase USM's research productivity. They are not the final step, but they're a step in the right direction. And as we begin to see the positive impacts of this initial step, we will explore other ways to expand our support for research even further. So I'm looking forward to working with faculty to winding their way through exactly how to access these funds. But this is a new day for USM. I've never known the university to offer these supports before. So I hope you will take advantage, and I hope you see this as a new commitment of USM to research, scholarship, and creative activity. And then finally, in the brief time remaining before Bob Stein gets the hook, I am delighted to announce that we have another huge chunk of work ahead of us. NECI, not Nietzsche, philosophers, I know we want to call it Nietzsche, not Nietzsche, it's a NECI. NECI, formerly known as NEASC, is our accrediting body. And it may shock you to know, if you've been here for more than 10 years, that we are already at another reaccreditation cycle. This is the biggie. This is our 10-year reaccreditation visit, and it will happen in spring 2021. In fall 2019, before a new semester, spring 2021 can sound like it's far away. It is not. Our self-study will be due in the fall of 2020, and the team will visit us in 2021. So it's not that we don't have enough time, it's that we have the perfect amount of time, and we have to be very efficient to get everything done that needs to be done in preparation for this visit. Everything else we do at this university rests on our accreditation. So we all do crucial, important work every day, and none of it can happen without our accreditation. So I know we're all busy, and I would ask that we all focus this coming year on getting the best self-study that we can to our accreditors so we can have a smooth and successful accreditation. And while I'm at it, I'm pleased to announce that we have a new NECI liaison at USM. Many of you remember Sally Meredith, who was our former NECI liaison. This year, we did a national search, and we hired our first ever at USM Vice Provost for Mission and Accreditation. And I'm pleased to introduce this morning Dr. Dominic Barraclough. If you would please stand up, and we can welcome you. Dr. Barraclough comes to us from the University of Wisconsin at Platteville, where he's been director of the School of Education, Director of Graduate Studies, and Director of Student Learning Outcomes and Assessment, in addition to many other roles. He happens to be a professor in counselor education as well. He has a PhD from the University of North Dakota in counseling psychology. So Dr. Baraclough will be leading our accreditation efforts this year with a steering committee that has volunteered to help, and these members of the steering committee are John Barker, Megan Cadwallader, Susan McWilliams, David Nutty, Lisa Walker, Blake Whitaker, your Faculty Senate Chair, and Kiva Wright-Berry. So when you get the call from one of these people to please help us renew our accreditation in 2021, I hope you will say yes. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful academic year and enjoy the pie. And I almost forgot. I would like to call to the stage now Nancy Griffin, Chief Operating Officer, to update us on our master plan. Thank you. Sorry.
Good morning, everyone. What a great morning and what a great day. My job this morning is actually one of just to give you a brief update of some of the work that has happened on our campuses this summer, the work of our facilities management teams, and the work of capital planning and project management folks. So I want to give you just a brief update. First, in Gorham, on this campus, we had a lot of activity. In Woodward Hall, one of our residence halls, we put $1.8 million into that hall, and it has brand new bathrooms, it has a brand new lounge, it has an updated apartment for our staff members. And so we're really pleased to have that building that will be open for our students as we welcome them this coming weekend. We put $2.5 million into Brooks Dining Hall, and it is an amazing transformation in that hall. So we hope that you will take an opportunity. All of you should have received an A-list email from Christina Smith inviting you to tour both Brooks Dining Hall as well as Woodward Residence Hall after this breakfast later today. I believe the tours will leave right from this facility. We want you to see what we've done in those halls and what we've done most importantly for our students. In Brooks Dining Hall, we have increased the seating capacity because, as you all know, we have increased bed spaces and we are at max capacity in our residence halls here on the Gorham campus this coming fall 2019. That is significant. In 4 years, we've grown. So we're thrilled. I'd also like to thank David Roussel as well as Tad Stone for their leadership in the Brooks project, as well as with Woodward. Bailey Hall, we had an asbestos abatement project that is now completed. Faculty and staff are back in their offices. I just want to thank the faculty and staff for their patience with that project this summer. I know that's not a fancy one. It's not one that we're like, woohoo, but it was an important one to complete as we get ready for next summer's project, which will be a sprinkler project in that building. Also, under the leadership of Aaron Witham and his team, we have an ESCO now happening on the Gorham campus. That's an energy saving project which will start with Anderson Hall and Bailey Hall. And right now we're conducting an investment grade audit of those two buildings. So we've started an ESCO and we're moving in the right direction on energy savings and to help us meet and actually hopefully surpass our sustainability goals. On the Portland campus, we had a lot of work that went on this summer. First and foremost, we had the renovation of Science 165. That is a lecture hall. That will be a dedicated area, and the dedication of that facility will happen on September 12th in the morning. You'll all get an email about that facility, but we have a brand new lecture hall in the science room, and we're very excited about that. In Payson Smith, room 305 and 305A, that is it was an old chemistry lab. We have transformed that into a brand new facility for the Maine Center Ventures for the MBA program that we're partnering with the University of Maine on. So that room, that classroom, is a high-tech classroom with blue screens, and that project has been finalized. The first class will be in there next week. And again, that is primarily used for the MBA classes, but after that, it's the University of Southern Maine, and please see Diane Berry if you'd like to book that facility. It's a gorgeous facility, gorgeous room, high tech. The Center for the Arts project is moving along. There have been meetings, and right now we're starting the stakeholder group meetings. Many of you will be tapped to come together to talk about that work and what we want to have in that brand new facility that will be happening on the Portland campus. So we did go through an RFQ process, and Pfeiffer, Architectural Planning Interiors Company, will be the leader of that. And so we're really excited about that. We had the first stakeholder meeting, or the first kickoff, on August 20th, and now we'll be doing more of the stakeholder meetings now that the faculty and the staff are back at the end of the summer. The next project is one that's near and dear to my heart, and this is the Career and Student Center and Residence Hall project for the Portland campus. I am very pleased to tell you that we had a successful RFQ process this summer. We had 6 absolutely spectacular national submittals and proposals sent to us, and the core building committee selected 5 to move on, and they're in the RFP process right now. And that process, those proposals are due on September 13th, and we're moving forward with this and hope to have these buildings open for you in the fall of 2022, which means next summer we've got a lot of construction and a lot of planning to do. That's really great. Also want to give a shout out to the folks that worked on the parking garage entry system. That's up and running. You've seen the emails on that. We also did some work in the parking garages, cleaning it and getting it prepped and prepared for where it's going to go next. So if you have any questions about that, please see our parking team. They'd be happy to help you. I know you've got probably inundated with all of the A-list emails about that facility. These are just a few of the projects that our facilities management and capital planning and projects teams did this summer. Could everyone who is on capital plannings and project and facilities please stand to be recognized for the outstanding work that you've done for our community this summer? The custodians, the grounds crew, everyone is still really busy getting ready for the start of school. I do want to give a shout out in a new program. This year we will be having building stewards. And a building steward is a person who will be partnering with facilities management on the upkeep and the ongoing work in a certain building. Many of you have already stepped forward and said, yes, I will be a building steward. You will see an announcement from me over the next 2 weeks as we finalize those folks that are going to be building stewards. This is again, our commitment to making sure that our brick and mortar match what we're presenting to our students and all of the work that we're doing. I want to end by giving a special shout out to somebody. Adam Thibodeau will be leaving us on September 6th. Adam is our Assistant Director for Capital Planning and Projects Management. He has dedicated over 10 years to this institution and has done a great deal for us. His work, as well as his team's work, often goes behind. You don't get to see it. It's usually behind closed doors. But he has been such a great partner to us, and he will be deeply missed. I'd just like to give a special thank you to Adam for everything that he's done for USM. Thank you, Adam. Again, I hope that you'll go on the tours this morning and see the Brooks Dining Hall as well as Woodward Residence Hall and take advantage of that opportunity to see this campus. And now I'd like to bring up to the podium our president, Glenn Cummings.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you, Janine. Please join me in thanking both of these two very hard workers who have made this university move forward in a variety of areas, in enrollment, in capital planning, in academic affairs. Please join me in thanking the two that spoke today. Thank you. I have a twofold job today, which I'm delighted to do. First of all, I have the honor of being able to talk to you about some celebratory things that we believe are really kind of reflect the essence of what it means to be at USM. And so I'll be talking a little bit about that, and what we did is we just asked people to tell us, what have you been doing in the last few months? And it was just, we got so many positive things. And this is just really pretty much since graduation, maybe a little bit before that in some cases, some amazing things. So I'm just gonna go down through and talk about that. But before we do that, I have a really exciting announcement. Just 5 weeks ago, we were awarded for USM's foundation $1 million for scholarships from the Peter and Paula Lunder Foundation. Those scholarships will go into effect immediately. So what a great endorsement for us. This extraordinary gift will expand the Lunder Scholars Program, which provides much-needed aid to both graduate and undergraduate students here at USM. Last year, 83 outstanding USM students received these Lunder scholarships. This is just some of the work that our USM Foundation is doing. Please join me in thanking Ainsley Wallace and her great team at the USM Foundation for raising this year a record amount of money. We appreciate everything that comes in support of our students and our university. Please join me in thanking the foundation. We have a little video just to show you what the foundation has been up to and some of their successes, as you'll see. This is a really important gift, so really kind of... I think we're going to stop right there. You guys got it. Dubiak, $1 million. All right. All right. So let me just skip. We're going to move forward. Thank you again to the foundation. I can tell you personally they work extremely hard in the work that they do. I'm going to just kind of walk through just some examples. We just asked people from faculty and staff, tell us what you've been doing really in the last 4 or 5 months. Julie Ziffer, professor of physics, spent 2 weeks in India teaching astronomy to Tibetan monks and Buddhist monks and nuns as part of an Emory Tibet Science Institute, teaching the cross and intersection between science and spirituality. How cool is it that our professors are doing that kind of stuff? And also, Rebecca Givens, a new assistant professor in political science, recently returned from Hiroshima, where she was invited to speak at a remembrance of the dropping of the first atomic bomb. She also was invited to a MacArthur Foundation media training for women in the nuclear age. And apparently she had a kind of a bizarre road trip with a guy named Angus to Washington, D.C. I don't know anything about that, but she put that in there. So. Our very increasingly famous Nicholas Dossman, USM's Director of Choral Studies, led a group of 16 USM choir members to perform on the 6th Vietnam International Choir Competition and won numerous awards on behalf of the university for their great work in the music department. Melinda Haslett, the assistant professor of music, performed last March at the Royal Opera House in London. They've never asked me to do that. That was amazing. Rachel Lastly Rasher, assistant professor of biology, worked this summer with undergraduate and graduate students to pursue a wide range of research. They studied scallop aquaculture, molting behavior in green crabs, nitrogen pollution in Casco Bay, and much more. Dr. Karen Wilson and Dr. Theo Willis from the Department of Environmental Science also collaborated on parts of this work. In early August, Rachel and 4 students presented their work at the Sea Fellows Symposium at the Darling Center in Damariscotta. In nursing, the Organization of Maine Nursing Executives awarded its 2019 Nursing Leadership Award to none other than Sue Seppels. Thank you. Congratulations. Our new Associate Dean in Nursing, Brenda Peterson, has been accepted for publication in Journal for Nurses and Professional Development. We welcome her to our leadership of our nursing program, our excellent nursing program. And speaking of publishing, we can boast about some new books on the shelves. Daniel Martinez, Associate Research Professor in the Department of Environmental Science and Policy, published his 3rd book, Energy Efficiency, Concepts and Calculations. Co-authors include Travis Wagner, also formerly with the Professor of Environmental Policy. Matthew Edney, Osher, congratulations. Matthew Edney, Osher Professor in the History of Cartography, has published Limits to Mapping, and in July, Matt's book was published in Time Magazine's Times Higher Education Review as the Book of the Week. Congratulations to Matthew Edney. And a little bit of surprise, Nick Mancuso, if you don't know him, he works in the USM Foundation. He just published his own mystery book that has been called Fever. And Nick is leaving today's breakfast early to do a reading in Connecticut. He has been published, and he said that his first $2 million from the sale of the book will go to us, to USM, so congratulations. News to also celebrate LAC, if you don't know, the doctorate in occupational therapy and a PhD in leadership and organizational studies at our Lewiston Auburn campus and college was approved by the UMaine System Board of Trustees in this last fall, so congratulations to them. Also at LAC, Mary Ann Peabody, Associate Professor and Chairperson of LAC's Behavioral and Social and Behavioral Studies Department, received notice that she has been awarded the Association of Play Therapy's Service Award, his National Service Award, presented annually to mental health therapists who have volunteered time and service at the state, regional, and national level. Mary Ann will be receiving her national award in Dallas this fall. Congratulations to Mary Ann. Back in Portland, the Career Employment Hub partnered with the American Marketing Association Student Group to host USM's first professional networking dinner. This phenomenal event brought in nearly 100 students together with 26 representatives of 22 different companies. The event won the USM Event of the Year Award at the Student Leadership Awards Gala. Congratulations for a great performance. The School of Social Work launched its first blended low-residency master's cohort this summer, specifically designed to support working students with busy schedules. The courses are 8 weeks long. Meanwhile, our School of Education and Human Development this summer launched a new K-12 ESL certification program offered in blended format, the only ESL certification program in the state. The program began admitting students this fall. Working with academic partnerships, the School of Education and Human Development is also launching its fall fully online master's degree program in special ed, ed leadership, teaching English to speakers of other languages. Thank you and congratulations for moving so quickly, and we hope that that online program begins to really pull people in around the world to our university. The Office of Sustainability won the EPA's Regional Food Recovery Award this year. This is the 8th award for USM, has won from the EPA in the last 5 years for excellence in sustainability and environmental leadership. Well done. We also hosted the annual Northeast Campus Sustainability Consortium. I was honored to be part of that. USM facilities completed 9,653 work orders in fiscal year 19, while our mail services department received and delivered over 5,000 packages in addition to what they already do. Thank you for doing that. Woo. And I want to publicly apologize to Johnny of Mail Services for occasionally stealing his parking spot outside Masterton. Just throwing that in. My congratulations to Jessica Picard in Facilities Management, who became Certified Educational Facilities Professional this summer. Our coaches and staff in athletics continue to do a great job supporting our student athletes, not just on the playing fields, but in the classroom. 212 student athletes earned recognition as part of the William B. Wise Scholar Athletes Awards, and 17 of 22 intercollegiate teams earned 3.0 high or higher GPAs on their teams. Great statement. Very few Division III can say that. Our TRIO program is working this year with 150 eligible students at USM, while this past spring, Jobs for Maine's graduates graduated their first class because they started in 2015. And congratulations to Upward Bound's new STEM advisor, Doris Juarez. She was the keynote speaker at the Bowdoin Summer College Fair and organized a 2-day STEM event for our students across the state, or for students across the state. A lot happens in our Upward Bound TRIO programs. Congratulations to all of the work that you're doing with our students. Sergeant Russ Swan and Dean of Students Rodney Mondor were recognized for a life-saving action in Luther Bonney in rendering assistance to a student suffering from a cardiac arrest in the late spring of last year. Rodney got his medical degree. No, he did not, actually. He's just always on the ball, always paying attention, knew exactly what to do. Thank you, too, to Sergeant Russ Swan. They saved a life that afternoon. Congratulations. Thank you. Lori Spalding, Director of Veteran Services, was honored at the Maine Military and Community Network Conference with a Certificate of Achievement and Challenge coin. For the 6th consecutive year, our health services received the Gold Star Award from the Maine Tobacco-Free College Network for advancing tobacco-free policies on campus. And Tad Stone, our Sodexo General Manager, was selected to participate in Sodexo's International Leadership Program, a prestigious honor. To give you a sense of just the magnitude of this honor, Sodexo has 420,000 employees, and only 24 were chosen for this leadership program. Congratulations to Tad. And just in from Public Affairs in the last couple weeks, a summary of our last year's favorable mentions. We had a total of 622 times we were mentioned in the media during the first 6 months of 2019. That's 103 times per month of good news. Social media reports. On the social media front, we now have 65,500 followers across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. I don't know what any of those are, but I think it's a good thing. Our marketing, no, I do. A little bit. Marketing folks continue to build on its well-received spring spots, and earlier this week began running this new spot on TV. I hope it goes better than the last video we tried to run. All right. I wanted to say thank you to our admissions team partnering with marketing, launched our website, our USM virtual tour. Do check it out. Of course, but of course, that was only a part of the admissions work. The team generated this year in admissions 13% more undergraduate applications for this fall than last year, and 8% more in graduate applications. That's more applications than any year measured in recent history. Thank you to admissions for their hard work. Folks in financial aid have also been busy. So far, they have received financial aid applications from 370 more students than they received last year. That's great news because we know that students stay if they have the right finances. Their work in financial aid is crucial to our survival as a university. Thank you to Student Financial Services. Fantastic job. Should also add that this fall, 36% of our new in-state students are arriving with financial aid packages that include federal, state, and institutional grants and scholarships to completely cover their tuition. Congratulations for great work. That is better than 1 in 3 new Maine students who are starting at USM with no out-of-pocket expenses, costs, or loans needed to pay at least tuitions and fees. We are steadily reducing student debt and increasing access to high-quality education, and that's as good as any place. This is as good as any place for me to mention that we know that the affordability of an institution is a major component, not the major component. There are others, but a major component of whether somebody chooses our university. So that work that we've done really started with Nancy Griffin's leadership. In the last few years, we've given over $16.5 million worth of scholarships to bring great students like the ones you see here into the university. So that's a good place for me to stop on our celebrations. Please join me in congratulating everybody who sent something in to tell us what they've been doing over the summer. Now I'd like to shift into, just to finish up, really a piece that I want to just talk to you about kind of where we are as a university, where we're going, and I want to talk to you, I want to finish by talking about Goal 10. I just have one thing to tell you, that you are sitting in a university that 5 years ago would have been unrecognizable. 5 years ago, if you were with us, we didn't have our bills paid. We didn't have strong enrollment. Our alumni were at an all-time low in participation. Our donors were not robust. Our reputation was not strong. And our retention was sagging. I can tell you today, our bills are paid. Our enrollment is strong. Our alumni are with us in the best numbers we've had in the recent past. Our donors are coming back in big numbers and often with big checks. Our reputation strengthens every day. Our retention surges forward. In the last 5 years, we have been financially in the black all 5 years. Today, we are honored to begin a new budget year starting on July 1st, in which we plan to be in the black again. We must, however, be fiscally sober. Our legislature has given us money for this year at a 3% increase and nothing in the following year. That is a sobering fact. They may change some of that, but it is disturbing. So we have to keep our feet on the ground and our eyes on the sky. As we go forward, we can say that we have $7 million worth of reserves, and we just paid off $2 million worth of debt over the summer to loosen the cinder blocks that have been on our shoulders for years. We are fiscally improving, and we're getting stronger under the leadership of Alec Porteous, who joined us in February. Alec, please join us with standing up. Thank you for your help. We have 5 years of enrollment improvement. Headcount this year is up 2.78, the best in the UMaine system. Congratulations to everybody who made that happen, and that's everybody. We have 5 years of increasing level of donor support. As you saw, people are coming back and they believe in us, and if they know that we're fiscally sound and they believe in our mission, and we have the best mission in the world, if they believe in that mission, they will continue to give us funds, and we are honored, and again, thank you to the foundation. 5 years of improved commitment to students that hold them lovingly in place to complete their academic dreams. We have had, in the last 5 years, a 7.4% increase in student retention, and we plan to keep growing that number. We want our students to be successful, and we are making that happen together. Thank you for everybody who makes that happen on a single and every day. So what do you say in the face of such accomplishments? There are only really two words: thank you. You, every time that you say yes to a student, you find a way to go over bureaucracy and sometimes stupidity in order to serve the best interests of our students. You're helping. Every time that you take a moment to ask somebody, did they need help, you're helping our students. Every time you find a place in your work that students could be involved in your research, where students who are struggling get a phone call or an email to check in, where our students find that we can find them financial aid that we otherwise didn't know we had, when you help them with mental health issues that they might be struggling with, when you help them to find a home, a place, when you take that extra moment to know that they belong, they matter, and they're home. That is how we change everything. You're saying yes to students. You're paying attention to the barriers that needed to be changed. You're keeping the grounds clean and attractive so they like being here and they're proud of us. You're building students into your research. You're inviting students to groups, fellowships, and opportunities that they might not otherwise have, and that can change their lives. You're seeing college tours and saying, come here, you're welcome here. Don't be afraid, by the way, if you see a college tour and you're a staff member or you're a faculty member, step in and say, come here, you're welcome here, it's a great place. Those things make a huge difference. You're telling our story across New England and the country and the world, and you're finding ways to solve financial problems for our students. Counseling our students in academics and career at a new level. You're finding new teaching methods to reach students across any parts of the world that need to have access but can't come here physically every day. And we know that just in these two counties, York and Cumberland County, 22,000 people have some college, but they haven't completed. Thank you for finding ways in your classroom and through your programs to try to reach them in ways that they otherwise couldn't get to us. You're making our campus safe from danger and making our culture inclusive. More to talk about on that. You're doing research on real-world problems and making our state and our world better. You're helping us repair buildings and build new structures to attract the student of the future. And you're helping raise funds and bring new crucial resources to our campus. That is you that's doing that. You're changing a culture that used to take students for granted, and now we take them as the center of everything we do. Our goal is to make our students successful. I have said here before, and I'll say it again, USM is the most important university in America. The most important university in America. And I mean that. I happen to believe we're not the only most important university. The reason that we're more important in many ways than schools in Waterville, Brunswick, and Lewiston, we have to remember the reason that we're more important is because we are changing more lives. We are not credentialing the privileged. We are finding ways, like students like me, whose parents didn't go to college, we're opening up a door that changes their lives, their children's lives, their grandchildren's lives. That's the mission you wake up to every day. As I've often said, our HR director has never walked into my office and said, we have people down in accounting that are worried that they're being overpaid. We have people in the sociology department that think they're getting too much. But what we do have is we have people all the time say, I love to be here because everything I do matters. Everything I do matters in terms of changing the nature of how this country expresses its true commitment to the American dream. That's why we are the most important university in the country, among others, because we believe in taking students where they are and making them better. We are known by the students we let in, not by the students we reject. That's our mission, that's our goal, and there is no better thing to wake up to in the morning. And you're making that happen. Thank you. So what's next for us? If you remember, 5 years ago, we built our 5-year plan on what is very difficult information to look at. We built our 5-year plan on the students who rejected us, the students who either came here and left, or the students who took another college. It was the best but most difficult information you could look at if you love this university. They told us 3 things really clearly. Number 1, I cannot feel like a number. Somebody has got to know me, like me, guide me, care about my career, care about my future. Number one, you're changing that. Professors are changing that. Staff changing that. Administration changing that. Community members changing that. Number two, I need financial help. That's why we've given $16.5 million to students who are saying, please make your university affordable. And we're changing that. And the third thing they told us is, I don't have the luxury of not having a job when I leave here. Help me make my education usable. Help me make myself prepared for the workforce. Help me unite with real-world experiences that will help me get a job. Those are the three things that they told us. And as a result, we now have a vice president of workforce engagement who's working every day. And today, 5 years later, all 54 of our undergraduate programs have an internship built into them. Thank you, faculty, for making that change. We really appreciate that. So, what is the next 5 years? I thought we'd start with the same questions. What are the students who now are rejecting us still? Foolishly, but they are. And so we went to that data. And first of all, the ones who are rejecting us are much nicer because they're saying you have a lot of really good qualities. You are a great price point. You have deep affordability. You're in a great location. And you're connecting me more than ever with jobs. I can see that possibility. But they are still talking to us about you need to strengthen your academic reputation. And we're on it. We're pushing forward the research grants that the provost talked about. We now have an academic vision. We want to push forward our honors program, and we want to get a name for that honors program in the next 5 years. We want to give more scholarships, and we want to get deeper into the high school classes across New England. We're changing our name in part because our name now connotes regional, not national level recognition. We're moving forward with a variety of changes that will push our reputation, especially research with faculty, between faculty and students, and we're helping try to underwrite the research agenda here in the university to improve our academic reputation every day. It is decent, and quite frankly, I think in truth, we beat all our competitors in academic reputation. When you take the percentage, 60% and above, who are full-time tenure-track professors, that's the most likely person you're getting in a classroom. Most of our competitors don't come close to that. But that's the work ahead of us. We will push that. As we know, the chancellor, as we know that the provost has said, we will absolutely need to continue our work in supporting faculty and their reputation, and they will need to continue to do that research, but bring students into that experience. And with that, students will have absolute, I think, changes in their experience here at USM. By the way, there's another part of the leg of the stool. If you're going to win out there in the world of higher education, and quite frankly, Northern New England is a tough place to win. Remember, our 18-year-old population is going down dramatically. Another reason for the name change. We don't have enough people who are 18-year-olds coming into our schools. With that, the Maine people said something that really, quite frankly, disturbed me tremendously. They were telling the truth. It wasn't that they were saying something inappropriate, but they said something that disturbed me because as a first-generation Maine college graduate from my family, a four-year college graduate, they said two things. 61% of them, during the polling we did on the bond package in November 6th, they said, higher education is a questionable investment. Wow. If there's anything that you ought to be worried about in the future of this state, it's 61% of our citizens saying going to college is a questionable investment. It portends very poorly. Then they specifically said two things. Why? One, it's too expensive, and two, my kids may not get a job. We can win, and we're already winning if those are the arguments. You've got to add that third leg of the stool, which is academic reputation, which we will build every day, starting now, even stronger. But those two things we can win on. We are ideally located in Lewiston, Auburn, and Portland, and Greater Portland for us to be able to put every one of our students into internships, into job experiences, co-ops, clinicals, that they otherwise would not be able to get anywhere else in northern New England. And we are uniquely positioned to do that. We can answer that. With those three legs of the stool, academic reputation, affordability, and career-oriented or connected to real-world experiences that help students get the jobs they need, people will come to us in strong numbers. We are not only going to be able to be sustainable, we will be able to do our mission of serving this state and New England and beyond well. So we have a magic formula. We will do that. That's where we're going next. And I'm really proud to say that you have helped us significantly in making that happen. So with that, I'm going to shift over to finally and finish up with something that has been much on my mind, certainly over the last 5 or 6 months. I had sent out to you earlier this summer, after some things happened over the course of this year that really brought me once again to be humbled on the issues of equity and social justice, the sense of inclusiveness, and really the humility to recognize that it is very difficult for us in higher education to sometimes think, wow, we don't always get it. We like to think of ourselves, in fact, there's a lot of research around implicit bias that higher education, particularly people with PhDs and doctorates, have a hard time understanding their own biases. Lawyers, too, by the way, got that, but we won't talk about lawyers this morning. It's hard for us because we think that we are so enlightened, that we are so expansive in our thinking, and that we're way too smart to have any sort of missing elements of our thinking. But in truth, we do. And certainly that is the case with me. So today I want to invite you into not just a structural, organizational journey, I want to invite you into a personal journey. A personal journey about what it means to really hear people and really listen. So I have used the analogy in my writing that we have done many, many things just in the last year that would seemingly make us more inclusive and more equitable. We have raised a considerable amount of money for our asylum seekers. We have put in new bathrooms to recognize religious diversity. We have, for the first time, we have an incoming class of faculty that actually matches the percentage of people of color here. We have done a number of implicit bias trainings, etc. But the truth is, those are sort of the checklists. And people will say, well, that's good. Well, what else is there? And I have equated it, if you've ever had a partner, and you say to them, well, I'm picking up the kids at hockey practice, and I'm getting the groceries, and I'm working 70 hours a week, and I'm not playing golf this Sunday, so what's the problem? And your partner says, I just need you to hold my hand and listen to me. I just need you to know what I'm thinking and what I feel and what I'm experiencing. That difference may sound subtle, but it's everything. And today, we are going to embark on a deeper journey. I've asked my good friend Reza Jalali to return to the university. He's kindly agreed to help give us some counsel as we go forward. But I also want to say IDAC and its Intercultural Diversity Council that has been for the President's purpose, I will rely even more heavily than I have already this summer on your thinking as we go forward. This is really the extension of the university to embrace and engage really what we call our promise values, our service promise and values that we've already said: equity, responsiveness, respect and care, and integrity. And as we go forward, we will be moving to really do a careful audit of where we are as a university on this issue. We will ask a formal auditor or third party to help us. That decision will be made by IDAC and other members of the community to come in and help us look at how do we allocate our resources? What do we do around human resource allocations and practices? What does our curriculum tell us? Has our curriculum been colonized in the way that much of our thinking has been colonized? We will look at whether we'll look at whether our student experience of staff and faculty, whether their experience here is one of safety, one of inclusiveness. Those questions will come up. Are you safe to be? Whatever you are you safe to be here at the university? And we'll need to listen carefully about what the answers are. We'll also be announcing soon a new director for our Intercultural Engagement Center with an expansion of resources in that area. We will be hiring a director of equity, inclusion, and social justice who will help work directly with academic affairs, human resources, student life, among others. We'll reinvigorate our required training for all faculty and staff on search committees to do implicit bias training. This year, 26 members of the USM community joined the Race Equity Institute and began to deeply look at the issues of the historic trends that make ourselves blind to sometimes our own whiteness, our own privilege, and the structural inhibitions that we're trying to face. We will institute a campus-wide read under the direction of the provost. We'll be working with IDEC and members of the several departments to get recommendations for a single book that we will read together. Anybody who wants to read this book, as it's chosen, will move forward with us. We'll require all members of the University Council, which is a large supervision group, to take implicit bias training and/or IDI inventory assessment, which looks at your views around issues of diversity, inclusion, and equity. And I want to say, from my point of view, there are a number of things that we have to learn from other places. So I spent a lot of time this summer looking at and talking with some of the leaders in the Portland Public Schools and what they're doing. And they are moving forward. They are not egotistical about what they're doing. They feel like they are working as best they can to commit to a more equitable school system, K through 12. I am honored that they took the time and spent the hours with me that they did, worked through some of this stuff, and I know the provost is also them. And so we have a journey in front of us. I ask you not to think about the journey as a checklist. I ask you to think about the journey as an internal experience of getting closer, deeper, more compassionate, and more understanding about each other. That is not as easy as it seems. Many of us live in our intellectual heads, and this is not an intellectual journey. This is one where people can be very angry sometimes, but they should be. And this is a place where sometimes you say the wrong things. Sometimes we do, not intentionally. But if we're going to push up against our own implicit racism, sexism, biases of all kinds, this is the journey ahead of us. It won't be easy. It is the only journey. And it is part of the mission of this great university that, as my friend Reza said, every student, every staff, every faculty, every community member must feel they matter, they belong, and they feel at home here. That is a journey we're going to go deeper into. We are at the cutting edge of Maine on these issues. We're blessed, but every day is not easy. We will learn. There'll be humbling moments, there'll be joyous moments, but we will learn together. I thank you all for everything you've done. I wish you a fantastic academic year. I am delighted to be here with you. And I have to say, we are almost hitting our deadline. We're just 9 minutes past the 9:30 deadline. Please remember, we have tours waiting for you. Remember, we have the Metro buses out in front of Bailey. We have some new faculty will be meeting, chairs will be meeting. But I just want to say, most of all, enjoy. Thank you for being here. Again, thank you to Sodexo and Facilities for making this happen. Have a great school year. I look forward to seeing everybody.